Welcome to Seasons of Life, a biblical perspective for how to navigate life's ups and downs. Do you feel overwhelmed? Or do you feel successful? Experiencing loss? This weekly 15-minute word of inspiration will motivate you to live with more wisdom and peace. Here is your host, Pastor Mercy Oduah.
Happy New Year and welcome to another season of life. As you know, Seasons of Life episode is a biblical perspective for handling your life challenges. I want you to know that life challenges are regular occurrences of life, the good and the bad. My inspiration aspires to empower you with biblical support and guidance as you go through the ups and downs of life. I am sharing from my Seasons of Life experiences, hoping they will benefit you as well. So if you are watching for the first time, kindly subscribe and share this video on your platform. Thank you. Today I have a guest all the way from Florida, my daughter, and I will let her introduce herself to you.
Hello and Happy New Year. Happy 2023. My name is Vanessa and I'm happy to be here with you all.
Thank you for joining us. We are in 2023, another calendar year. Hey, yes, it is a new year and a new season, and it is exciting, isn't it? We are celebrating, we are excited to receive 2023. We are also entering this new season, this new year, with expectations and uncertainties. People are making New Year resolutions to help transform their lives in 2023 and achieve more than they did in the previous year, because that is the essence of New Year resolutions. You make New Year resolutions so that you can get a better result from the previous year. That is understandable. But I want you to know that the most vital resolution that you need is in your mind. The most vital resolution that you need is to renew your mind. Yes, because your mind affects your attitude, and attitude is everything. I want you to know that in the words of Marilyn Monroe, she says that the sky is not your limit, but your mind. Yes, the sky is not your limit in 2023, but your mind is. Also, the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 7 says that as a man thinks, so he is. Yes, as you think in 2023, so you will be. So I want you to know that. Therefore, today's episode is on renewing your mind. Yes. Isn't that interesting? It is very simple but deep, because when you get hold of this topic and understand it and implement it in the year 2023, you will see much success in your areas of endeavors. So the topic is renewing your mind. The mind is powerful. You either control your mind or it will control you, according to Napoleon Hill. The mind is very powerful. You either control your mind or it controls you. And we don't want our mind to control us. We want to always be in control of our mind, our thoughts, the thoughts that comes out of our mind. So I want to start today by laying a foundation on what it is to renew our mind. When you hear the word renew your mind, what is it? What are we talking about? And also, I want to share why we need to renew our mind as we go into the new year 2023. Renew means replace. Simple. Renew means replace. Therefore, renewing your mind means replacing the old way of thinking with a new way. Renewing your mind means replacing your old way of thinking with a new way of thinking. That is simple as that. However, I will let my guest, Vanessa, add to that definition of renewing your mind. So, Vanessa, what do you understand when I say renew your mind?
Oh, I agree. When you talk about renewing, being replacing, I think that's a great definition. Just taking away your old ways of thinking. I think that we all have, well, I'm sure we all have our own perspectives, our own values, our own doctrines that we adopt from childhood. But as we continue through life and experience different things, as we go through different challenges and learn different lessons, I think it's important to have an intentional reflection on your mindset and the attitudes and perspectives that you have, and see what needs to be adjusted, see what may need to be replaced, see what may need to be even reaffirmed. Maybe there are some things that are worth keeping, but I think since life is always changing, our circumstances are always changing, we should always be evaluating the thoughts that are in our mind.
Okay, so that's an addition that renewing means replacing. And we have to constantly do that as we move along in life. Therefore, as we enter this new year 2023, with that definition, it is important for us to examine our mind and renew our thoughts, the thoughts that are not good, the negative thoughts that we have. We need to replace it with something new. Our mindset needs to change, especially in the areas we are struggling. You get up and you are making New Year resolution. It is important to make that resolution in the areas you are struggling. Set that goal that in this particular area, be it addiction, be it habit or something, set a goal to renew your mind in that area. It is good to tackle the most challenging thing in your life right now. As you look at yourself in the year 2023, I want you to tackle your most challenging things, the addictions, the negative thinking, the health challenges too. I know the areas of my weakness already that I want to renew my mind on in this year 2023. I have already made a goal and I pick an area of weakness for me to renew my thoughts, renew my mind. You see, sometimes we often see people behave somehow, especially in a negative way, and we criticize them. We don't know what is going on. I want you to know that it is because of their mindset disposition. When your mindset is set in a particular way, negative or positive, it influences your attitude. Yes, it influences your attitude. So that is why we see people behaving strangely. Also, a negative mindset will bring a negative action, and a positive mindset will bring a positive result. Now, sometimes, you see, as we enter this new year, 2023, it's not about how much money that we're looking for, or career, or relationship. those are not the things that determines our blessing. Instead, a proper mindset creates a good attitude that affects our blessing. I repeat, it is not about how much money or relationship or attitude. It is about a proper mindset. When you have a proper mindset, it creates the right attitude that will trigger your blessing. Many of us desire to see good things in the year 2023. We desire to change from one thing or the other. But sometimes the change that you need is not external, it is internal, it is inside of you, but you don't know it. And it could be as simple as changing your mindset, changing your perspective, because when you do that, it will affect every area of your life. I want you to listen to this definition of insanity. And in the words of Albert Einstein, he says that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Think about it. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And I know that many of us can relate to that. We do the same thing every day and we expect different results. It is not going to happen. So let us aspire this year, 2023, to change something. And that thing that you need to change is within you, your mind, your mindset, the way you reason, the way you say things, because that will set you on the path of success if you are able to change your mindset. So let's begin the year 2023 right. Let us start with the most challenging task, and that is changing our mind so that we can see what we want in the year 2023. I will examine why we need to renew our mind now and the things that we need to renew our mind from, because there are things that you need to filter your mind from. And in the next episode, we will look at the method to change your mindset. So Miss Vanessa will help us right now to see or to explain why we need to renew our mindset. Why do I have to renew my mind in this year 2023? My mind is all right. Why do I have to renew it? She will help us to examine that right now. So I chose her to talk about this because she has been at a place whereby she needed her mindset to be renewed to the next level, whereby she is now an author. She is now an author. She just wrote a book and published because she had to renew her mind on certain things in her life that was hindering her from moving forward. So I will start by asking her 4 questions. And the first question is, how is our mindset connected to our attitude? How is your mindset connected to your attitude?
I think they're very connected, probably one and the same. But I think our mindset, when I think of mindset, I think primarily of just kind of your general outlook on life as a whole, just kind of your objective outlook on the world. And then the attitude takes that outlook and applies it to your particular choices, how you're going to behave, how you're going to interact with people, how you see yourself. So I would probably say, just in my opinion, that our attitude follows our mindset. For example, if your mindset is usually optimistic, if your mindset is mostly that life is full of possibilities, then you may tend to have more of an optimistic or hopeful attitude. Whereas if your mindset is kind of only the strong survive and kind of that type of mindset, then maybe you're more of a I win, you lose type attitude. Maybe competition is comes more naturally to you. So I think that typically the attitude is shaped by our overall mindset.
Okay, thank you for that. So we can see the connection between our mindset and our attitude. Our attitude is coming from what is inside of us, as she explained. The second question is, what are the things that affect our mindset? What are the things that affect our perceptive in life?
I would probably say, I mean, just thinking of my own mindset and how it's been shaped, then I would probably say the upbringing is most important. Um, or probably, well, upbringing is probably the most common. And I would say that probably most of the things that have shaped us, most of our perspectives were probably shaped when we were children. The things that we saw our parents or older siblings or whoever took care of us, whatever they did. I'd also probably say the resources that we have, what we're exposed to. I think that somebody who has abundant resources will probably have a different perspective, and that perspective will probably be affected by what they had, what was available to them, versus someone who may have grown up with scarce resources. Upbringing, resources. I'd also probably say education in school and beyond. Just the things that we learn can definitely shape how we see the world, how we see ourselves. And then probably lastly, I'd probably say that just the relationships that we have, especially the ones that we're people that we're closest to or people who have the biggest impact on us, probably do a lot to shape our perspectives.
Okay, good. She just shared four things that can affect our mindset, the way our upbringing, the resources we have in life, relationship, and so forth. Those are the things that may be affecting the way you behave without you knowing it. So it is imperative, it's important for you to discover that and see if you need to adjust your mindset. And another question is, why do we need to renew our mind as we enter this new year? Why do we think it's necessary to renew our mind at the beginning of the year?
We said earlier that the new year is not a particularly spiritual observance. It's not like we have a biblical Christian mandate to recognize the new year. But I just think it's in general just a good time and place for that introspection. You have you're starting back over with January. I think it's just a good time to revisit the maybe the prevailing thoughts that you had the previous year, how things went, and how your mindset had to do with the way that the previous year went. But I think that renewing of the mind should happen periodically. And like I was saying earlier, we experience new things, every day. So I think we should be intentional about periodically replacing old thoughts and old perspectives and just allowing our minds to be reshaped.
And the final question is, at what point do you realize that you need your mind renewed? At what point that you will say to yourself, oh, I need a change of thought. I need a change of the way I think concerning this particular issue.
I think that comes at the point when you can, honestly analyze, some type of situation and say, oh, this didn't turn out how I thought, and it's because of how I was, because of my mindset. So I don't think that happens at one particular point in life. I think that hopefully that's something that we're doing throughout our life. But I don't think it's really possible to be able to say that, and understand when your mindset may be negatively impacting you, unless you have, a good sense of humility about you. The Bible talks about in Romans being able to consider yourself soberly. So I think if you have to be able to take an objective look at the way that you think, at how it influences what you say and how you act and how you behave. So once you're able to have that humble, sober, kind of objective, introspective look, then hopefully you'll be able to say, okay, this, because of how I was thinking, because of my attitude about this, because of what I've always thought about this is why I responded in this way. This is why I did or didn't do A, B, C, and D. So I think that's a lifelong thing.
All right. Thank you so much for your input. So, as we conclude, I want you to know that most of the issues we face in life is coming from our mindset, is because of our mindset. So, it is essential to examine your mindset every day, as she said, to see what kind of thoughts are coming from that mind. In the words of Joyce Myers, she says that the mind is the battlefield. So are you going into this 2023 with the battles in your mind? Do you have battles right now? You need to begin to release. You need to re-examine your mind and make the necessary adjustments. Because if you go into this year 2023 with those battles, you are putting yourself for failure. You are setting yourself up to fail, and you don't want that. You don't want that. The Bible said that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. I want you to meditate on that scripture, that God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So in the next episode, we will look at the ways, the method to renew your mind. So may the Lord bless you, cause his face to shine upon you. Shalom, and see you next week.
Thank you for watching this episode of Seasons of Life. Until next time, be well, and may God bless you.